What's up, everybody? I'm Seth. Thanks for watching today. It's a little bit windy out here, so I hope you can hear me. I would like to do this on a little bit better day, but it looks like we got a storm coming in, and I don't want all my dirt to get wet that I've got in my hole for heat treat, which is what today's video is all about. I did what's called Nabo Cook on some Buffalo River chert earlier this week, and we do that to make our stones for Flintknapping work better. And what it does is it makes them work better, and it also brings out the color in our rocks too. But you want to keep everything really dry that you use. What I do is I dig a hole about 18 inches deep, and I build a fire in the bottom of it to dry out the hole. And if I need to dry out the dirt, the first time I do it, I'll cook my dirt in there to dry it out, because I want everything as dry as possible. So what I do is I build a fire in the bottom to dry it out, let it burn for 2 or 3 hours, dry it out real good. I've got a layer of coals in there. And then I put about 3 or 4 inches of dirt or sand, ashes, whatever you've got, to have a layer of protection between your coals and the rocks so they don't get hot too quickly. And then I'll put my stones on top of that. And your stones that you use for that, you want to be really dry. So if you've had them inside for a long time or something like that, they should be all right. But you don't want to do it with something that you just had sitting in your yard and getting rained on, that's just had all kind of moisture in it, because it'll blow up. So I put my rocks in there like that, and then I put about another 3 or 4 inches of dirt, sand, ashes on top of that, and then I build a fire on top of that, and I burn it pretty much all day. And then usually you have to wait, a day and a half, 2 days before you can dig it up, because it stays hot for quite a while. And if you dig it up too quickly, your rocks are gonna break because you have a temperature shift that's just too fast for them to handle that. So you just gotta wait a couple days to dig it up. And that's what I'm fixing to do right now, is I'm gonna dig it up, and we're gonna see what this rock looks like. I know everybody loves these things right here, but digging in the ashes and the dirt right here, this is actually something that I don't mind putting it on for. What I like to do as well is I like to sift the dirt whenever I'm digging it up, because it's going to have some coals in there, possibly some other rocks and some debris that I really don't want in there. So as I'm digging it up, I'm going to sift it and try to get all that trash out of there. There's one right there, turned nice and red. It was brown on the outside of it earlier, but the color changes quite a bit whenever you heat treat them. Usually to orange to a dark red, depending on how hot you get it. There we go. Looks like it slicked up pretty good. This piece looks like it busted in half in the fire. So that one must have had a little bit of moisture in it still. Here's the other half of that one. But it looked like it cooked really nice. There we go. So that would have been the piece. I would have liked it to have been that big. You get what you get though. Sometimes some of them blow up. Hopefully we don't have too many more like that. There we go. I really like that color change right there. Changed quite a bit. The one before that was kind of on the edge. It didn't get quite as much of a cook as they did in the center there. This is a little bit of the darker material though, so it should work with the amount of cook that it got on it. I prefer to get a little bit hotter just because of the color change you get. That one came out really good. This one was on the edge right there, so this part of it really didn't cook, but the rest of the rock did there. Oh, that one cooked nice. This one's going to have a real nice pattern in it here too. Got some stripes in here and some nice colors. Like it when they come out like that. Real nice dark red. This one was on the edge, didn't get quite as much of a cook there. Might have to run that one through again. It'll turn nice and red. Got another good cook on that one right there. There we go. Nice. I like the color on that one. This one was on the edge. Put that in the recook pile. This one turned a little bit red on the outside, but this part right here didn't change as much as I would like, so that one might have to go in the recook pile there. That one slicked up pretty good. I like the color change on that one. Nice dark red on that. Got a pattern in here. This one's going to be a really nice one. There we go. There's another one looking good. That looks like about all that I had buried in there. And for the most part, it came out really great. It looks like I got about 4 pieces that didn't cook as well as I would like. The rest of the load came out great. The way I usually try to load it up in here too is I'll put it kind of in the center here. I really don't like to get too close to the edges here because I've done it a bunch of times, and whatever's closest to the edge there, if you get pretty close to the edge of your fire ring there, it usually doesn't cook. So I try to keep everything kind of centered under this part of the fire here that gets the most heat there. And with the Buffalo River or Keokuk, different rocks like that, I got to get them up to 600 degrees to get a change like this going on. So I had pretty good luck with that. I had one stone in there that broke in half out of the whole load. Had 4 pieces that didn't come out as good as I would like, but overall I would call that a success. I'm going to do a little bit more filming here, kind of show you a little bit more of the process here. But that's basically how I do an abo cook there. There's one I missed there, came out really good. I like the colors on that one. There's another one. All right. Nice color change on that one. So, after you heat treat your rock, you need to dig all that out of there to get to the bottom of the hole. And you want to save all your dirt while it's still dry from the heat treating process. So the next time you heat treat, you don't have to try to get all the moisture out of there. If what you're using to pack around your rock is wet, then your fire has to overcome all that moisture in there, and it expends a lot of its energy trying to dry out the dirt. You don't want that. Keep it in a container and keep it dry. And the process you just watched me go through right there, you're going to go through a similar process the first time that you dig your hole to start that. Get all your dirt clean. And if it's wet, build a fire in the bottom of it, put the dirt back in, build a fire on top of it, and dry your dirt out because it needs to be dry. And like I said, always use dry stones with it too. I hope this was informative to you. I'll have more videos like this in the future. I'm going to take a little bit of footage of the rocks that I got this week. I cooked some Keokuk as well as the Buffalo River, a little bit of K County. So I did 2 different cooks in the fire pit this week, and I got about probably a milk crate full of rock that's heat treated, and I'm happy with that. That'll last me a little bit. Thanks for watching. I'm Seth. Now that I got everything sorted out of the fire pit and what I cooked earlier this week, I'm going to kind of show you the difference between what I cooked earlier this week, the different kinds of rock, and then I want to show you what it looks like whenever it's raw and then after it's heat treated. What I've got next to me right here is a Buffalo River chert from Tennessee. Known far and wide amongst the Flintknapping community. I really like it. I go there and collect it myself. So here's a big difference in these right here. I want to show you the difference between the two. So this one right here, it's brown, it's kind of yellow looking right there. That's what it looks like whenever you pick it up. It'll be brown like this on the outside of it, and then you take a flake off of it to see what it looks like. So that's where I've taken a flake off of it. That's what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, that's what it looks like right there. So then this is a piece that's been cooked. It's got a little bit more of a pattern in it right there than what this one will have, but it'll turn dark red on the outside of it, and then it really brings out the colors in it. So that's your difference between your raw Buffalo River and your cooked Buffalo River. and it makes the workability change a lot, where it works a lot better. And this pile right here turned out pretty good out of what I cooked the last load right there, and it was all just Buffalo River. I'm happy with the results on that. I did have a few pieces here. I didn't really get the cook that I wanted. This one kind of started to, but you can see they really didn't get that much color change, just a little bit, and the brown really didn't turn that much color. So these I'm going to put in the pile to recook. What I've got in front of me right here is some keokuk. And the keokuk I cooked in a previous fire earlier this week, and it all came out pretty good. The piece that had the least amount of cook on it, I made a dovetail out of in a video earlier this week. So I actually tested out the one that had the least cook on it. So the rest of these should really work better than what that one did, and I was happy with that. Out of what I got here, this one probably got the least amount of cook on it right here, and you can see it's kind of more red down here, but it's a little bit orange right here, so it could have got a little bit more heat here, but I think it's going to work fine. Just for colors, it would have looked a little bit better. And most of the rest of this, well, not most, but all of it got a better cook than that piece right there, and then turned pinker and darker colors in there. So when your keokuk, whenever it's raw, it's kind of like this. It's gray looking, has these yellow streaks in it right here, and those usually turn red whenever you cook them there. This is a piece that's been cooked, so it's pink. The lines are already red in there. It's changed colors. The workability should be drastically changed on this. That's what you're looking for with keokuk whenever you cook it. This is some Buffalo River that I cooked earlier this week in the same fire that I cooked the keokuk in. And I actually had this below the keokuk there, so it didn't really get as hot as what my Buffalo River did earlier in this next cook that I got right here, because it was underneath it. But these few pieces, they came out pretty good. I had a couple that didn't really come out as good as I would like, so I actually recooked those in the same fire with this one right here and took care of those. I've got a little bit of Reed Springs chert next to me right here, and I put that around the outside ring of my fire earlier this week whenever I cooked the keokuk. And my thought process on that is that I know that it needs less heat than the rest of it, and this would be more like your Boone, your very upper reeds, the poor quality stuff of that really. And I just thought I'd cook it, just kind of see how it turned out. And I had it around the outside. I'm guessing I probably should be getting, you know, the 400s on there, maybe 450 if I'm lucky. And this stuff right here is going to take more heat than that to get a change. I got one piece right here that kind of, the color changed just a little bit, and most of the rest of it, it looks like it didn't touch it. So it's probably going to need a heat similar to what the Buffalo River took there. I've got another pile right here that's in K County that I had in that same load, and I actually had it right underneath the keokuk in that load right there, but I had it pretty close to the top right there, and I'm happy with the results on this. It definitely changed the quality of it. Now I don't have a raw piece of it to compare it with right here, but I'll show you how it turned out. And it's definitely going to change the workability of this stone right here with the temperature that I got. Now if I got it a little bit hotter, I might have got a little bit more color out of it there, but workability wise, this is going to work. So that right there will give you kind of an overview of what you're looking for with what I call an Abo cook. And Abo just means Aboriginal, so Aboriginal would be the original people that lived anywhere in the world. And the way they used to do it on this continent right here is somewhat similar to what I'm doing. I'm sure there was all kinds of different ways people did it, but everybody's ancestors all across the world flint napped. And at some point in time, they started heat treating once they figured out that that made the rocks work better. That's why we do it. It makes the rocks work better and brings out the colors in them. Once again, thanks for watching. My name's Seth. Subscribe to my channel.